Hello and welcome to our channel. This past weekend we went to visit the Henry B. Plant Museum in Tampa, and we actually went and saw it during the Victorian Stroll that happens over the holidays each year. And when we went, the tickets cost $16 each, and we thought it was well worth the admission price. This is both our first time to the Henry B. Plant Museum, and it's pretty cool because most of the time you're in downtown Tampa, you can see this beautiful building and you don't really know what it is. So it was really cool to be able to go, and also, with that being said, see it during the Christmas time. According to their website, the Henry B. Plant Museum is housed in the 1891 Tampa Bay Hotel, the Victorian Railroad resort that defined the elegant frontier, now a National Historic Landmark. Unlike most museums dedicated to lifestyles of the past, it contains the actual furnishings enjoyed by the first guests to visit here. The museum accurately reflects the opulence of turn of the century America and the vision of American transportation pioneer Henry B. Plant. This is the grand hallway, and the collection here reflects the lifestyle of the late Victorian period, an area of conspicuous consumption appropriately dubbed the Gilded Age. To help encourage the social distancing, they had people moving in a counterclockwise pattern, which was great because the first room we came across was the writing and reading room. And this was probably one of the most interesting rooms that was in the entire museum. So, according to their website, this room looks just as it did in 1898 when Lieutenant Colonel Theodore Roosevelt, Clara Barton, and others stayed here. Now, you can really see in this room also what you'll see throughout, where the normal things are on display, but they have the holiday overlays. So, for example, they have information about the Christmas tree and the vintage ornaments, as well as the regular information about the writing and reading room. Now, one thing that we didn't do that we could have, but we only had an hour left for the museum to stay open, was they did have an audio tour, and I believe it was available in English and Spanish. And we heard a lot of other people doing it, and it was really, really cool. But if you're not an audio tour person, don't worry about it because just the information that they have presented is tons of information, and it will keep you very, very satisfied. Now, I'm probably going to say this a few times, so I do apologize. But there are so many really cool rooms. I really can't pick one that was my favorite. I really liked this one. This was called The Sport in Life. And what it says is sporting adventures and experience during the Gilded Age. Now, what I thought was really interesting is we all know about like the Hotel Coronado in San Diego, I don't remember what it's called, Mackinac Island. There's a hotel in Mount Washington up in New Hampshire. And now we have the Tampa Hotel. And I did not realize that all of those were classified basically in the same category, same time period. So I thought that was really, really interesting. Check out all the beautiful Christmas trees in this room. Which one is your favorite? I always am a big fan of sand dollars, but this fruit tree is just so cool. In this room, you can see one of the audio markers, so I wanted to point that out. You can see number 18 on the dining room table. So if you were doing the audio tour, that's how you would know which one to choose in that particular room. This is the sports and amusements room, and what it says online, open from December to April through the 1890s, the hotel was a lively place with magnificent balls, tea parties, and organized hunts during the winter social season. And you can see the big tarpon on the wall. There's lots of pictures from the time period. It is pretty interesting. One of my favorite parts of this room is what I zoomed in on here. And what it is, it's a Christmas tree and it's decorated with Cracker Jacks and old baseball cards to signify the old spring training that happened down here. In the Victorian days, one of the things that parents used to do was tie a string to the children's presents and then wrap that string all the way around a room so the child had to take the end and find the appropriate present. So what I did here was I picked one of the ends I could find. I could only find one of them. And so we followed the white string all the way from the reel that it was on to the gift. Around here. Up and down. This room features a lot of ceramics and vases from the gardens. And what it says online is that gardens were an important center of living for the Victorians and the Tampa Bay Hotel. The final room on the tour regarded the Spanish American War and its Tampa connection. So, Tampa and the Tampa Bay Hotel played an important role in the Spanish American War during the summer of 1898. And there is a ton of information in this room in a variety of different multimedia formats. It's very, very interesting, especially when you are standing in history. The last thing I'll leave you with was a beautiful moon over the Tampa skyline as we were leaving the museum. If you were debating going here, I highly, highly recommend it. It doesn't have to be during the Christmas time, they have events all year. I think it's very interesting to see the history, especially if you've never been on this side of the river.